What is asynchronous communication? Okay, I've only learned that term recently, but I've been using it my whole business and it's a game changer. I'm so glad that I do it this way, and still most people don't. So we're going to start out just with a simple definition so I can define the way that I see it, but then we're going to go into ways that we can actually use this and maximize it in your business. So without looking at a dictionary, the way that I would define asynchronous communication, if it's even in there, is communication that's not at the same time, I guess. So imagine a phone call. I'm talking on the phone, you're hearing me and you're answering in real time, or an in-person meeting or a Zoom call. Those are all at the same time. But when we're saying asynchronous, it means I can send you a video clip, or I can send you an audio file, or I can send you a text message or an email. If you're not available, that's okay, because that message will sit there and wait until you see it, until you respond. And I'm not sitting at my email or looking at my phone like, is he going to respond? Is he going to respond? Is he going to respond? Because I know when you get around to it, when it's convenient for you, you can respond back. Now, asynchronous communication is amazing. It allows me as a business owner that I've got a lot of demands on my time, I've got a lot of clients, and I've got a large team. If I had to schedule appointments with every single one of those people, I wouldn't have time to do anything else. But with asynchronous communication, I can communicate with all of them and still have plenty of time to do all the things that I need. So, to be clear, I still do phone calls. I actually prefer Zoom. So most of my calls are Zoom calls, and we do those as scheduled appointments. But a lot of times those aren't necessary. And why would we want to try and find an alternative? Well, there are problems that come with scheduled appointments. Missed appointments is a big one. I block out 45 minutes on my calendar. I show up and the other person isn't there. Then I just scheduled this, and I scheduled everything else. I structured everything else in my day around an appointment that didn't happen. There's things you can do to prevent that and reduce that, but it still happens, and that's terrible. Now for me, I'm an entrepreneur because I love having freedom. I love having a free schedule that I can control, but when I have to put an appointment on a calendar, especially if I have to block up my whole week with all these appointments, that just makes me miserable. It feels like that freedom is gone. So what I do is there are specific days in a week, usually it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and it's certain hours on those days that when I give people my calendar link, they don't find an opening on a Tuesday or a Thursday or a Saturday or Sunday. They can only book appointments on those days. But you know what? I communicate with my team and my clients every single day through asynchronous communication, no problem. They can send me a message on a Friday and I'll respond to them a lot quicker versus them having to set an appointment, because I'm available not until next Wednesday or something like that. There's a couple tools that I use. I love screen capture, where I can record my screen, I can point at things, like I can show my clients things on their YouTube channel, or I can point out things to my team in a different software. So I can just record my screen, point at something, talk them through it, and then send that file to them. It's extremely helpful. Or I love WhatsApp, or there's another app called Voxer that I used to use. I still love that app, but we had some issues syncing the phone and the computer together, and we just lost communications. So we've been using WhatsApp, and the reason I love WhatsApp is it's like text messaging. You can have group texts and different things, but you can simply hit the record button and you can just talk. You can just leave a message, say, hey, I looked into this, just wanted to let you know this is what I found. And then when they're there, they can hit play. And so you can just talk instead of having to type it out. Now, are there any cons to asynchronous communication? And I have found one. I found one that it annoys some people. There are some people that they only communicate face-to-face. They have to do appointments, or they have to do phone calls. And admittedly, I have lost a couple of clients because my systems are built around asynchronous communication. For example, I had some clients that just refused to use WhatsApp. The benefits of this asynchronous communication, of having the freedom and the control and the flexibility and being able to help a much larger amount of people, those benefits outweighed the cost of unfortunately losing that client. Now, how can you make this type of communication more effective? Well, when you're typing a text message, I recommend that you proofread it before you hit send, right? That's an advantage. We can actually edit it. We can make sure that we are saying what we want to say, that it's clear. What I love about audio or video is you can include tone of voice, right? You can fluctuate our voice. And so a lot of times when I type something, I'm kind of a matter-of-fact guy. And so if I just type it out, it sounds like I'm being really critical or I'm upset about something. So what voice allows me to do is just talk with a happy tone of voice and just say, yep, I discovered this, and so we need to fix that. I have learned that I still need to give more compliments when I do critiques and stuff like that. But that's a way that people have learned that when I'm giving a critique that I'm still happy and I'm not upset about things. So if you've enjoyed what you've learned in this episode, I have a lot more that I want you to learn so that you can really leverage YouTube to generate leads for your business. I produce over 50 different YouTube channels, and it took me a couple of years because there's a lot in this book. But I packed everything that I have learned and everything that I implement on all these 50 channels, and we were very successful. I mean, this is a replicatable system. We leverage YouTube to bring in revenues of 7 and even 8 figures per year just from organic YouTube traffic. And if you'd like to do the same, you've got to read this book, and it's my gift to you as long as you'll cover the shipping cost. Go to natesyoutubebook.com. That's my gift to you.